Hey guys, this is the tutorial on how to complete the week 4 homework on the basic track. The task was to create a program that will randomly draw either a square, triangle, or a circle, depending on the number we generate. So the first thing I'm gonna do is import our turtle as always, and we're also gonna import random so we can use the randint function. And then the next thing is to create our turtle. I went ahead and did that already. I called it T. And before we get into the conditionals, another thing that you guys were taught recently was the speed function. So just to show that off, t.speed, and then it'll take an input 0 to 10. I'm gonna leave mine at 0, but you guys can mess around with this, see how fast it goes. And the next thing I'm gonna do is also set the color of my turtle. I'm gonna do pink. You're welcome to do whatever color you like. All right. So now getting into some more of the new stuff, we want to create a random number and then decide what shape to draw based off of that. So to create our random number, I'm going to create a variable called num, and I'm going to use random dot randint, which generates a random integer in the range that we give it. So I'm going to say 0 to 3. All right. So this is going to be generates a random number. All right. Now, starting with the conditionals. I want my program to draw a square if the number we generate is 0. So if we get a 0, then draw a square. And the way we do that is with an if statement. So if our variable num is equal to the value 0, and notice we do this with a double equal sign. A single equal sign is assigning this variable, but double equal sign is comparing this variable to this value. And that's what we want in this case. And then we're going to draw our square. If you need help drawing the shapes, there are code snippets on the slides, or you can refer back to previous week's videos if you need help with that. But I have this in my clipboard, so I'm just going to copy paste here. And this is how you draw a square. All right, next. If the number is not 0, we want to check if it's a different. So let's say if 1, draw a triangle. And we want to do this in an order. So the first thing we do is check if it's 0. If it's not 0, we move to checking if it's 1. So that's why we will use else if. So else if num is equal to 1, then we draw triangle. All right. So the first thing we did, check if it's 0. If it's not 0, the next thing we do is check if it's 1. What if it's not 0 or 1? We want an option for basically every other number that we could generate. So if other, draw a circle. So in order to do this, we'll use else, basically saying that if all else is false, this is what we do. And then we're going to draw our circle. Again, the code for how to draw the shapes should be available to you guys. All right, so now we have the code for generating a random shape. Let's run it and see what happens. All right, I got a circle on my first run. Circle again. Oh, it's a triangle now. Still a triangle. Now it's a square. As you can see, completely random. And that's how you complete this week's homework assignment.